Welcome back to another video here at Penultimate Trading, where we focus on trading system development and trading psychology. I created this platform because I was once a struggling trader with inconsistency, emotional decisions in my trading, and feeling stuck in my journey, until one day I realized I had to change my entire approach to trading. So if you're ready to transform your trading and achieve the results you've always been looking for, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a step in your journey or ours. Check the link in the descriptions for our free resources we offer, and book a free discovery call to see what else we can offer you. Check out all the social media platforms, and with that, let's get started. Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today we're going to prepare for the upcoming trading week from January 27th through January 31st, so let's get right into it. I am a little sick, so you guys just got to bear with my voice a little bit, but I'll still try to give a good content video for you. So down here I have the previous 8 steps that I mentioned and went into a little depth and detail about how to prepare for an upcoming trading week. Feel free to check that video out. But we'll be going through some of these steps and actually show you guys how I'm going to use it to implement it with my strategy and system and how I prepare for the actual trading week. And we'll do this with a heavy emphasis on step number 2. I'll be mostly backtesting and fine-tuning my current strategy with how I trade. I'm just going to compare it because I'm thinking about changing up a little bit. So I'll be mostly focusing on that and seeing how those results compare to my actual results from this previous week. So we'll start out with number 3, checking the economic news on the calendar. And as you can see here, it's not too much crazy news. It's mostly like pre-market news on like Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8:30. And it's a little bit of news on Monday at 10. So I probably just won't trade that around that time from that hour and just ignore it. But the really heavy thing here for this week is we do have a Fed press conference and the Fed interest rate decision. So whenever it's Wednesday, I'll make sure that all my trades are closed out before 2 o'clock and just make sure that I'm out of the market and not getting affected by that news at all. So it's good to understand it should be a pretty solid, straightforward week. Not too much news should be impacting my trades. And then next, we're going to analyze this higher time frame, step 4, and look at the daily. So yeah, looking at the daily, I kind of did what I wanted to do last week. Kind of just swept this, or the last 2 weeks, I should say. I did want to sweep this liquidity here, and then it pushed back up and swept these highs now. So looking at it overall, I still want, because I'm looking at a setup here, I'm looking at a few setups. I do want the Nasdaq to continue pushing up and be bullish, because I'm looking at some buys here and looking for it to go up a little further and travel a little higher. I'm not doing the full analysis, but I'm just showing you guys the actual markup that I was looking at. So that's why I'm looking at it to be bullish overall, which is why I don't want to say I expected it, but I was playing and anticipating that it was going to sweep this liquidity here and then bounce back up to the upside, which it actually did do pretty much exactly. It went past a little bit, past it, swept, and then reverse. So with this immediate price range, I would say since it swept these liquidity here, I would say it's looking like price could, at least it looks like you just swept this liquidity here as well. So it looks like it could push a little bit higher, sweep more liquidity up here, or maybe even sweep this high here, maybe on Monday or Tuesday. And then it could push back down, sweep some more liquidity along this area here. And that could be driven by like the Fed interest rate decision. Like we might just see a lot of consolidation Monday or Tuesday, and it might just plummet down and go do a downtrend in the 15-minute. And it might just push down, sweep some of this liquidity here, or even sweep this here, then go back up. Or we might just see it push up a little bit, sweep this here, and then transition down. So it'll be interesting because I'm still looking for it to overall push up into a higher area like this area here. But we'll see what happens, because it is interesting because right now it looks like on the 15-minute it's transitioning possibly from an uptrend to a downtrend. As we can see, I'll start marking some of this up. We have it from like a few Thursdays ago. It's going and trending up continuously, but it's looking like it started to consolidate a little bit within these last few days. So how I mark it up, just to be really clear, is mark the highs and lows of the day, just so I can easily see it, and go from midnight to midnight basically. So yeah, we can see pretty much from the whole start of the week, from Monday, last Monday, and Friday, it was just continuously pushing up, as well as previously after it swept that liquidity I mentioned a few minutes ago, and it just pushed back up, and it's been pushing up since. But we got to around this Thursday and Friday here this week that it started consolidating a little bit. It's still continuing up here to this Wednesday. At least it's closing higher each day, I should say. And then we got to Thursday where it finally did not close higher than the previous day. So I was a little skeptical with that and just looking about how I should go about trading that. And I'll review that later on. It's a different step. Now I was looking at this day. I still consider this an uptrend, even though it didn't finish higher. It also didn't finish lower. And with me, I like to consider it a switch of trend whenever I see 2 consecutive days of finishing in the opposite direction. So with this day on Friday, it did finish a little higher, but then it also finished a little lower than Thursday. But it's still within this range of Wednesday, so I'm not sure if it's going to break down and then confirm it's a downtrend on Monday, or it could still break up and go to an uptrend on Monday. So we'll see what happens whenever the market opens, what Monday wants to give us. It is a little bit of news, so maybe it'll drive it one way or the other. Like I said, it could push up and sweep some more liquidity that's up here in this area in the daily time frame, or it could just push down and sweep some more liquidity in this area, one of these lows. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's part of looking at the higher time frame, understanding where we're at in price and what price can do. And that's kind of also just looking at the weekly watch list here. I'm understanding where price might want to go and gravitate towards during the week, because price wants to go gravitate towards some liquidity for the week or whenever it's being traded. So really looking at these key points here, and I would say here potentially. Looks like it might have already swept this one here. It's really close. So it actually might be a little short. So I might just want to push up a little bit more and sweep this here, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to sweep either this price or this price here, or liquidity there for this week. And that's, if you want, that's key to go ahead and set some alerts for you. You should go and make sure you're always setting your alerts for the week and understanding that when price gets to a certain level, you're ready to react and implement your strategy or your system, and you should go from there so you can already be prepared and not just trying to jump into and rush into an analysis. You want to make sure you're setting your alerts and your take profits and everything correctly. I really should just say alerts, so whenever you're getting ready to analyze, you'll just be ready to do it and you're not rush anything. So I'm looking forward to, I'll set alert a different chart. I'm looking forward to either sweep this or sweep this, and that's how I'll go about the week. So yeah, I'll gloss over the number 6 here, number 5 and 6. So my weekly goals, I've already written them down and written my affirmations as well. My weekly goal is just this week, since I'm trying to refine how I trade, I just want to follow this new refinement and this new trading system and rule that I'm about to implement, which is really just the same strategy. I'm just going to trade it with pro trend only. So it'll be pretty crucial this week because it looked like it might finally be switching trends, potentially from an uptrend to a downtrend here, but we'll see. I'll just have to be patient and let it execute and let it play out. So I just want to make sure I focus on that, and that's pretty much my only goal for the week. I don't really have a profit goal or a psychological goal. I just really want to make sure I execute and do pro trend only. So I guess that could be a little bit with psychology and mindset, but I just want to focus on doing that. It might be a really few trades. I might only take 3 or 4 trades a week, maybe even 2. We'll see what happens. And then for affirmations, I've already wrote some affirmations, and I have a reminder on my phone that pops up affirmations as well. So yeah, I've already wrote down like things like I'm a consistent and profitable trader, or I'm a disciplined trader who follows his plan, and just write down a lot of affirmations. I'll put some more in the comments for you or the description for you. So it's always important to write down those affirmations and make sure that you are set and you're building your mindset for the week. And now we can get to really the main part of this. I'm going to reflect and review my last week's trades. So this is a little different because I'm looking to compare this with my new refinement strategy. I'm not necessarily going to go back and look at these charts the same way I would ideally, but I'm going to be comparing 2 different ways about how I would take a trade. So this will be a little different from my previous videos, because ideally if you're going back and you're trading the same way, you want to be looking at the same exact trades that you took from the week and looking at it when you're back testing on the weekend or before you start your trading week, and you want to see the exact same setup. You want to make sure you're seeing the exact same thing, because your system should be very consistent, and you should be saying, okay, I had a great trading week. I'm seeing all these trades line up and they look the exact same with a fresh pair of eyes as well. It shouldn't be too much different unless you start making some mistakes or you're just seeing things wrong. It should be ideally be the same thing, but this will be different just because I'm looking at a different way of utilizing my strategy. So I'll just go ahead and start back testing. So going back into Monday, I used the replay button on TradingView just to get a little more live feeling to it. Monday was MLK Day and Inauguration Day, so not too much activity here. I did take a trade. I really probably even shouldn't have. But going back here, what I'm trying to do now, I see prices still in an uptrend. So here I'd be looking for buys only. As I said, I'm trying to trade the pro trend only and see how that win percentage is. I know I'm going to drop a longer backtesting video for a few weeks back and do a few weeks at a time when I'm backtesting this strategy or this way and see what those results are. But I've been sick for the last few days, so I'll probably try to do it within the next few days or whenever I'm feeling better. So, but for now, looking at Monday, this first time frame, that I really was hesitant to trade this day, but it's looking like this could have been a potential entry for me. But I was really hesitant to trade. Let me see, actually. Just because it was basically two holidays. So, let's say it's not the cleanest trade, but looks like I could have entered that. It looks like I'm pretty sure this might have been a loss, but let's see. It's actually a longer trade than I thought. And then let that play out, and we'll see what happens. But looking at the next time frame, I would take a trade. I would say it's possible to try to force this trade here. Actually, let me zoom in and make sure this is at least like swing high. Looks, might not be an accurate trade. I'll go back to that trade specifically and try to compare it with the other broker and see if there's like a different, if it's a swing high there. But I don't want to go right now because I am going to try to compare each day individually and see how it was now that I'm backtesting and how it actually was and how I actually did when I actually took it this week. And I also do have my journal up next to me on a different screen, so I want to understand my reasoning and logic for what I did during that day, and then I'm going to do it with a fresh pair of eyes and how I'm refining my strategy. So looking back here, I know I took this trade here. I might have took it like this, shorter entry. Look at my journal. Yeah, I took it like this. I mean, I analyzed it a little differently. I had it like, this is my accumulation zone, but it's all good. I mean, it's pretty much the same setup. And I had that as my stop loss area. And I know I ended up closing this because it was just the inauguration started at 12, so I closed it right before 12. And it ended up pretty much a break even, so I didn't close it here. I closed probably like 11.57, 11.58. So it might have been slight profit, but not really. I mean, I just closed it probably during this candle close or like during this candle, like right around break even. So I'll just mark that as orange. I don't really want to count that. It's not the most ideal trade just because it's a holiday and that inauguration was happening, so it's like a news event basically. So yeah, I'll look back and compare to the other day, yeah, to this actual week. This is the only trade that I took. It's a little messed up. I guess because the candles are looking a little different right now, but it's a little messed up. But pretty much, yeah, like I said, I only took this trade on Monday, and we'll see if this trade would have been accurate. So yeah, it looked like that could have been a potential trade here. It looks like it's a little more like a swing high on this broker on the other one. So I'll mark it on the other one just to keep that as the actual, and this is the backtesting session. So this could have been a trade here, potential continuation of this trade, but it would have been a loss. So it's okay, just move on to the next one. Mark that as a loss. And this is a little bit surprising. I don't think I would be getting at least 3 trades in a day when I'm just trading pro trend, but I guess it is possible if it's ranging. So maybe the other days will have more trades as well. So we'll just see what happens. So yeah, I'll let this first trade play out. Yeah, one loss, one break even. We'll see what that one plays out as. See, it looks like that was a loss already too. Guessing this was news, at least from the inauguration or some type of other news event. That sharp move did get close to take profit, I think. So let's see, a little bit. I didn't actually match up the take profit level, but it looks like I got somewhat close. It's just unfortunate. So yeah, like I still am iffy about how I want to go approaching this. I don't know if I want to close out before at the end of this day trading session, or how I want to do it. So it looks like it closed at 1 on this day. It was a holiday as well, so it is a weird day. So I could have just closed out here of a little profit if I was taking this. This is a backtesting session markup. So this is a weird day, so yeah, it just comes with it. So I'll just say it's a loss. It comes with it. Now we get to Tuesday. It's a regular day. It's a little more of an uptrend. And we're seeing this big sweep of liquidity here, of sell-side liquidity here. And based on, also it's buy-side liquidity sweep here, but yeah, so based on, just because I want to trade a pro trend, I'd only be looking for buys here, even though it's not the most opportune moment, just because it's really high up in range. It's really in a premium, but it's okay. So just looking for trading with pro trend, and this was a valid loss. And I know this is a trade I took exactly this week, and I ended up hedging. That was a good video I made on the psychology of hedging. So you go check that video out, and we ended up taking a hedge trade here, and it ended up conserving some capital for us. So I'd recommend checking that out on like why I hedged, how the psychology and my mindset was behind hedging. But looking for trading with this way, how I'm refining, I won't be taking a hedge. I would just trading with pro trend, even though it could be beneficial like in this situation. But move on to the next trade, and looking at this time frame, not seeing any buys. Yes, because it's still pushing down a little bit here. And then I see the buy here because we have a large accumulation zone. Probably looks a little better than a 2-minute or 3-minute time frame, as you can see up here. So this is a 2-minute, looks a little cleaner, maybe a little cleaner on 3-minute. Yeah, so sometimes you need to go up just a few time frames higher to see if it's a little cleaner or not. Maybe a little more clear for you. And entry would have been here. And I could have put my stop loss here. I know this is a trade that I actually did take during the week too as well, so I have to review and see, or look at my journal real quick and see which one I did. I probably did the more strict take profit, and did the shorter one probably. So take profit would have been there. And I'll check my journal real quick. And I did the longer take profit. I actually did this one, so this would have been the accurate one, at least to represent what I did last week. So it is cautious. You can be cautious, or you can be a little more extreme with how you want to set your take profits, just depending on your strategy and how your personality with trading. It just kind of depends. So yeah, this did go through, and I believe it did take another, or this was actually a hedge of, I took a sell here of last week, but since I'm only trading pro trend for now, at least in this session, I'm looking to only buy here, and this would have been a valid buy because it's going with the trend. So yeah, I know this did hit, maybe not yet, but later on in the session it hit and went through, probably towards like 3 or 4 o'clock. Fast forward, that's the last trade of the day. So yeah, you see it went through up here and started spiking up. So make sure to mark that as a win. It did take a little longer for this one to go through a few hours, probably like 4-ish, 5-ish hours, because you entered at 11 something. So yeah, so it's okay. Just be patient with your trades. Let it either hit stop loss or take profit. Just be patient. So we had 1 loss, 1 win that day. So next day, still in an uptrend. You see it's already pushing higher and higher, and it's finished higher than the last 2 to maybe like 5 days actually, because it's been in this constant uptrend for a minute, for at least a week. So now we're looking at this day. I'm already seeing a little bit of sell-side liquidity being swept here, but it's kind of pre-London session. This looks like a little bit better for liquidity to be swept because this is during London session. It's a little cleaner. So let that play out. And it's still ranging up. So it's easy to find probably a buy continuation in my first trade opportunity here. So looks like it's time to jump down now. So we do see a lot of buy-side liquidity being swept here and here, and still pushing up. So it's easy to find a sell here, but since I'm only doing pro trend, it's also possible to find some type of continuation and let it push up. So let's see what happens. Yeah, this one's a little iffy, but I probably would have took this. I like to enter in specifically at my macro time frame, so even though it's happening a little bit before the time frame I would trade, I probably would have entered in like right here at the open of this candle. It's a little bit, it's not ideal with the entry, I would say, because the entry could have been like right here a little better, but it's okay. I mean, I've seen it go through enough times where I would trust it to still go through, but yeah, in this case, it just went really high, swept by some liquidity, and it still just wants to push down some. So there are cases where you can still buy high and it'll still continue up higher, but this case is just kind of, I guess it's pre-market. It just swept by some liquidity, it wants to push down for the market, and maybe provide some type of retracement so we can buy up higher during the actual New York session. So yeah, it swept all this liquidity and wanted to push down some. So we'll see what happens for the next trade opportunity. So yeah, here actually I would say this is another trade opportunity here, because it's technically, this would follow my rules. It's a little ugly just because I don't like using a 930 injection candle, but this would follow the rules here with how I do trade. It did form technically inside the macro, at least the accumulation started inside of it, and it broke through, seeing this distribution here with this candle. And it's a little risky, but it's still, this will be a valid trade. It's going with the trend, so I probably should trust this trade. Stop loss is a little big, but it's not the biggest I've seen. I definitely think once I start getting on the 60 point threshold, or 60, yeah, 60 I would say. It's at 49.66 for now. So once I get over like 60, I think those trades will start being automatic losses, because it's just kind of just too big for, at least for the way I trade. So I'd say this is still pretty valid. It's not the best setup, so I'll just go for 2R here instead of using like a fib here or fib expansion here. Just let it play out. This is a little risky. I'd be iffy to take it in person, but this is technically valid, so I'll just let it play out and see what happens. Oops. So it looks like it's about to play out. Let me see if there's any trades here in this time frame. Potentially, I would say right here. Could be another entry here. This could be another quick continuation, or maybe it's not. We'll see what happens. So if you want to be a little more stricter, you take profit or stop loss, you could put it here, or you could be a little more lenient and put it right here, or you could put it there. So we'll see. I'll just put it right there for now, see what happens. And that's why you make sure you back, so you can make sure you're refining how you trade. If you want to be more strict, more lenient, you're going to need to understand those things as you approach the week. So let's see, take profit would be up here, and we'll see what happens. So if it went for this one, it would have been a loss. Of course, if it went for this one, it would have been a loss as well. So I'll just measure it out and see what happens if I'm more lenient with it, if I need to be more lenient with my trades. But then that again, that increases the take profit range, so it makes it a little harder in theory for it to hit take profit. It just has more room to travel. And so this trade went through, just hit just now, so I marked that as a win. And then we'll see what this trade does. Actually, I'll see if there's any trade here. Looks like there actually is a trade here in this last time frame I would trade. So this would have been a really busy day, taking out 4 trades here. I need to go back and compare with the actuals. I didn't compare the Tuesday results with this backtesting session results, so this looks like it could have been a winning trade here. Let's see what happens. Measure out the take profit, make sure it's a valid parameter. So yeah, this is close. Maybe in a different broker, it's already at the 2R here. I think actually, once I actually took this trade in person, let me go review my journal, pull up Wednesday. So yeah, let's see. I mean, it's probably was a win here, different broker, but let's see. I'll just let it play out some more, and we'll see if this one's a win as well. Go to the higher time frame, let it play out a little faster. So it looks like at least this one, the middle one, was a loss here. I think I want to say this one went through too, because I want to say in a different broker this was exactly 2R even, and the take profit would have just been barely hit, because I think I took this trade in person, but let me see, at least I might have had it marked during the week. And I have to go back and compare Tuesday's results as well, compared to just now. Just back test. Let me go back and move the replay bar a little bit for you. So Tuesday I would have had only these two trades as compared to what I actually took here. So Tuesday was a busy day. Yes, I actually took 4 trades. I took 2 hedges with this hedge sell, and I took this sell, trying to continue with this momentum, but I took the hedge buy because overall this isn't an uptrend, and it just wasn't the cleanest sell, and it reversed back to this entry level here, so it'll just transition to a buy. And yeah, it's pro trend. The buy is pro trend, so the buy was looking like a higher probability to me, and it was at that moment. And I basically just waited for this buy to fail, and then the sell is pretty much high probability because you can see the sweep liquidity here that I had marked up from earlier in the session. So yeah, it was a pretty busy day, but that's part of the thing I wanted to, I'd say eliminate, because I just wanted to refine how I do it and take less trades as possible. I don't like taking, in theory, I don't like taking really 4 trades a day. I probably just want to take like 2, maybe 3 at most, but we'll see what happens with this new way of trading. It looks like there was 4 trades on Wednesday, so I guess it makes it a little more clear and straightforward about how I want to approach the markets, though. Let's see. I should just let it play on Wednesday. So we need to review Wednesday's actual trades as well. So go to the 1 minute. Reset that. So we had at least 2 losses here, at least 1 win. So at least this is a break-even trade, at least, or at least a break-even day so far. We'll have to try to confirm this one here with this broker. So yeah, in the actuals, I didn't take this trade. I guess I just missed this trade, actually. I think I just missed it. I don't think I actually saw it, analyzed it right there. I might have been busy or just missed it. It wasn't on the charts or something like that. Then it took the sell here. I guess it's just a valid loss. It was trading different with how I would trade, but yeah, just a valid loss there. Then moved on, took this buy. Or I actually might not have took this buy. I might have just marked this up. Let me see my journal. Yeah, so my journal, I'm not actually saying I took this trade. I think I just had it marked up in my journal as a clean trade. I was just questioning because of how high it was in premium, which sees a lot of bullish momentum. It's really high up. It's not really a pullback. It's more of just like a continuation, like a constant continuation, which is also why I wanted to refine it, trading with pro trend only, because sometimes Nasdaq just doesn't follow some principles. There is a lot of momentum pushes and a lot of continuation trades you can take. So that's also why I wanted to refine here, because you can really take advantage of like a lot of this momentum. Like you probably, if you're trading like a currency or type of asset like gold, probably waiting for like a pullback and then looking for a buy here whenever it's in like in demand zone, or just looking for some type of retracement with a Fibonacci or something like that. But it's a lot of continuation moves in Nasdaq whenever it's ranging or actually trending in a certain direction. So this would have been a move I could have took advantage of. And as you can see here, it's like perfectly 2R even. So this one would have hit take profit. Yeah, it's literally like a perfect one. It would have hit take profit perfectly here, and that would have been a win. And it's always, I do recommend always checking at least 2 brokers whenever you're trading. You should have like at least one you're marking up and analyzing on, and one you're probably just marking up your trades on, like the ones you actually took, and just verify the price levels so you can see things like the fine details, like okay, whose has the better take profit level or whose is more accurate. So I would recommend that, just because if you can see it's going to hit take profit here and it wouldn't in this other broker I was using. So I would always recommend just check two charts if you can. So I can mark that up as a win, because I would have checked both of those charts at least. And that would have been 2 wins, 2 losses for that day. Let's go into the next day. And already here we're seeing a bunch of accumulation and stuff here, so a little minor shoots of liquidity here, but when it accumulates like this, it gets really messy and tricky. So I think I wanted to say in person I waited, or in actual I waited for it to break out of this range a little bit, but we're just looking for pro trend moves, so we're just gonna look for buys here and just hope it breaks out here. I do already know what kind of happens, but just looking for how I can capitalize with just looking for buys here. So I'll rewind a little bit here. Pull up my journal, make sure I have Thursday's journal. Excuse me. So you're looking at this first opportunity here. It's not really an opportunity to take a trade just because it's still consolidating a lot. It's it is buy side liquidity being swept here, but we just saw some sell side liquidity swept here. But it's looking not anything yet, so I'll let it play out a little more. Looks like it could have been an opportunity. That's really close. Yeah, I don't know if that would have been the valid trade to take because it's really close. I'd have to compare this to the other broker and see. So yeah, I would say I don't think I would have took that trade. That's really close. I don't think there's enough imbalance there for, or at least any, if anything. It looks like it's right there and even. So I think I would have skipped out and missed that, or not took that as a trade. It would have been a loss anyways, but that's really close. It's not really a clean setup, as well as its accumulation. It's not the cleanest setup, really. So move on to the next time from the trade, but maybe let's actually take like the 2 minutes, see if that was clean or no. It's still just ranging a lot, and here it's just not the cleanest setup here. So yeah, let's go to the next time frame to trade for me. I would say this could be a potential buy here, just depending on what price does. Let's see. So it could be a potential entry, potential entry here, and it could say stop loss there, but I'm just gonna probably be more lenient, at least for this week. Just let price do whatever it's gonna do, and just wants to run down some more it can. If not, then we'll see what happens. And set take profit there. And yeah, that one hit, so that would be a win. And yeah, we see more buy or sell side liquidity being swept here. So I guess the good thing is for looking for, I guess, pro trend moves on. I'm almost looking for less confluences. I'm not really looking for like, I am, but I'm also like not looking for sell side liquidity sweeps here. It looks like I'm looking for, or at least I should say sweeps of liquidity in general. I am looking for it, but it's like it's almost like not as important because I'm going with the trend. So either there could be a sell side liquidity sweep and like some type of reversal from a pullback, or I could just take a straight bullish or bearish continuation move just based on the momentum and trend. So it's almost like I'm looking for less confluences, or it makes it just a little more straightforward. So we'll see. I'm just testing it out and seeing how I like it. We'll see what the results are at the end of the week. So here there might have been, it's another setup here. This would have been the last trade of the day just based on how I trade. So we'll set entry right there, I'd say. Right there for the entry. So let that play out. It's taking a while. I'll put it on the 15-minute. Let's see. It looks like it went through. So that's why it's really key to hold your trades. Even though sometimes it might take a while, this was a very valid setup. Mark that as a win. It's a very valid setup. It got very close to hitting stop loss, but it reversed and went through. That's why you don't really know what's going to happen next. Make sure you're holding your trades. Accept that it's going to either take profit or stop loss, and just accept it and take the trade. And this went through, so that'd be another win there. I'll go and compare it to what I actually did on Thursday. I don't believe I took this trade. Actually, I noted that I marked this trade up. I noted that I actually missed this buy. I guess I just didn't want to. I was just hesitant because I wasn't actually doing pro trend moves only this week. I was just still hesitant about it because I was thinking, okay, it's really still high in premium, as we can see based on like this huge push here. It's really high, so I was thinking it might push down a little lower. Feel like this imbalance, or just feel a little more, or do some more sweeps of liquidity, and then push back up, but it just doesn't happen. It just does a lot of continuation moves, and I ended up just not taking this trade, and then that was that. And then I took I did take this sell, but this sell, actually no, I misspoke. So this buy was the original buy that we just marked up as well. I don't know why it wasn't. Okay, it's marked over here as the win. I had this trade over here. That's the one I missed. Then I noted this one, the very first trade of the day, around 10. Would have got tagged in around 10:17, 10:18. That's the trade I noted that I missed. I was just kind of questioning it, but once that one went through, as I just saw this trade and I took the buy, and I also looking at it, I did take this hedge as well. So it was an abnormal week with me for at least hedging. I did hedge a lot more than I've done in the last few months actually. So took at least 3 hedges that week. And that one, I was up a little bit for the week. I was just trying to preserve capital and just guarantee at least 1% of margin gain or equity gain. And it looked like this was gonna go through for a second, and then it reversed literally. It almost hit stop loss and reverse. So you just want to make sure you're holding your trades. I was very close to closing this trade out once I saw all this momentum being pushed and almost hitting stop loss, but it literally reversed and then hit take profit for the buy. So I'm glad I just held it and just had some discipline there. Now let's move on to Friday. Try to wrap the video up. And this is the actual broker. Let me go to the backtesting broker here. So yeah, it's still an uptrend for me, even though it finished a little lower for the day. It didn't break below, and it's not been 2 consecutive bearish days. So I'm still looking at an uptrend and looking for buys only here. So I'm seeing some little sweeps of liquidity here, and really just here at the 8:30 candle. We're just seeing a lot of buy side liquidity being swept here, but I'm still only looking for buys in the moment. So that really is a little irrelevant for me at this second. So we'll play it back a little bit. And we'll be looking for this buy here. And I do remember this trade just because it was a few days ago. It just missed entry and went straight to take profit pretty much. And that happens. Sometimes you just miss your limit, or you just can't get in a trade fast enough and it just takes off. It literally happens. You just got to move on to the next trade and just go about your day. So you don't try to make sure you harp and focus on it too much. You just go about the next trade. So yeah, that one just missed entry, and it wasn't a win, unfortunately, because it would have been a win if it got tagged in, if I would have manually entered maybe, but it's all good. Let me see if it was an entry for the 2 minute or 3 minute. No. Like, it's finally been, the imbalance is finally being filled here with this candle, but the trade had already hit take profit, so I made sure I deleted the order. And yeah, it just was a missed entry. Would have went back up and hit, or went back up in that direction, but it still was just a missed entry. I deleted my trades or my limits whenever I see stop or take profit being hit before I'm tagged in. So you could say this is potentially a higher time frame trade here. It looks a little cleaner in 3 minute than the 1 minute. I haven't tested this out or even really thought about it. This one like a spur of the moment thing. It's a larger range, of course. And you could have set entry here, but let's see how this plays out. It's not too big of a range actually. It's only 35, almost 35 points here, so we'll see. It looks like based on just the market of the day, it's not going to hit take profit, but maybe it'll be an over the weekend trade being held here. So delete that and adjust this one for the missed one at least. So maybe it was a potential trade here. Mark it off of that. So yeah, set take profit there. And there was news here, so I'd be very cautious with that. I wouldn't actually enter a trade. Me personally, I don't enter trades during news or even that like macro time frame. I would have just ignored it. It looks like there was probably a sell move here because it swept buy side liquidity, but I wouldn't be taking that based on taking what trades are pro trend only. So yeah, that would have been still a valid loss. Taking that, I'll mark it as a loss, even though I might not have taken it just in 3 minute, and I don't usually trade the 3 minutes. Just kind of look at it for sometimes cleaner moves, but yeah, that's a pretty big range. It seems like a big range move at least. But yeah, I'll mark it as a loss. Change that color. So yeah, and then I'm seeing another setup here, at least with this. This is a little iffy because it already swept and mitigated this imbalance, but you could have probably lowered this accumulation here and let it say, okay, I can enter here, but yeah, this is iffy. I know I'm on the 15 minute, I'm seeing more switch of liquidity here, at least sell side, so that gives you a little more confluence with it, but still, I would say it's an overall uptrend, but it is tricky here because it's consolidated from Wednesday to Friday in this little range here. So it could be getting a little tricky with just trading pro trend only, since it's looking like it could start to swap. So I might start to see a little bit more losing from this refined trading way, but we'll see what happens. So I'd say we can enter. I'm trying the 2 minute. Yeah, it's still a little iffy with this being mitigated before it really broke through. So I would have wanted it to break through this accumulation zone, then mitigate this imbalance here. So really, I don't know if I want to say I would take it. It's not the cleanest one. If you wanted to rush into it and probably take it, could be. I want to say it could be valid once it goes down and hits this lower mitigation. Like I could have said, I would have entered at this imbalance here, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know if I would have actually took this trade. I think I might have actually took it based on this imbalance here, but I'll go back and check and we'll just compare it. So yeah, take profit would have been there. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I guess that would have been a valid trade. So yeah, I guess it was valid, at least not with this imbalance here, but lower imbalance here. So have to keep that in mind. Make sure you have a touch for the param trading. Just understand the actual levels to enter in at, because it would have been crucial probably to enter in here, not up there. So yeah, because yeah, it looks like it's already reversing down, and it's it would have been hit. So let's see if it would have been, if I would have entered in up here. Let's see if it would have been tagged or hit take profit. So yeah, it wouldn't have hit take profit. So it's very crucial to follow your steps and rules right to the T, because it would have been right. This one's already been mitigated, so it's not valid for me to enter. But if I would have entered here, this would have been a valid trade and it would have hit take profit. And just making sure you pay to those fine details, it does pay off. So that would have been a win here. And I think it swept some buy side liquidity here in the 15-minute and just started, or maybe not, didn't sweep anything, but just it broke the structure. It's looking like it's pushing down to a downtrend a little bit. So yeah, I know it ended bearish for the day, so yeah, pushed down a little more. And I wouldn't necessarily say there's any, I wouldn't say there's any buy set up here. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's any buy set up here, so that would have been one loss, one win for the day. And yeah, I just actually, yeah, so I don't think let me check my journal. I don't think I took this trade because it's not marked up as a win or a loss. I think I just had it marked up and missed it, potentially. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, this was the one that was a 3-minute one. This is the one that I had my limit set and it didn't get tagged and it just went up. So this is the higher 3-minute time frame trade that I could have took advantage of. I just didn't use the 3-minute time frame to take this entry or look for an entry, so I missed it. It would have been a loss anyways, just based on that time frame as we just looked at. So that's no harm, no foul for me in person, at least for the actual week, and that's okay. And I realistically just have the touch I would have in this, how my eyes are looking at this. This was probably a 15-second trade here that I couldn't really enter in because I don't have the playing with trading view that shows the seconds, but also just don't like using seconds to display the parameters. So yeah, I just didn't take advantage of the trade. I thought it would transit to the 1 minute as well with this, but it just didn't. So it's all good. Just move on to the next trade. I wasn't able to take advantage of it, but it's all good. And then this one here, I did take it, but I entered in at this imbalance here, which I shouldn't have because it was mitigated before it broke this accumulation. So the valid one was to do this imbalance here, and it would have been a win. So all in all, just one loss on Friday, and if I was refined to this way I trade now, it would have been 1 loss, 1 win. So yeah, that's that. It looks like I had more trades than I thought I would, trading pro trend only. So now I'll just compare. Let's look at the actuals. So the actuals for the week, oops, I went up too many. Oops. Disregard, those are all old notes, so disregard that. So the actuals for the week, last week was I had 3 wins, 4 losses, and 2 break evens, which this is profitable. It's not like the best win percentage, but it is profitable. It's based on because I go for at least 2R on every win, really like 2.2, 2.3, 2.5-ish R for each win. So let's just say if we round down to 2 and just say, okay, you get 2R per trade. So that'd be 6% for the win, 4 for the loss, and then 2 break even. So slight profit. Would have said 2%, we're risking 1%. So yeah, slight profit. And this one, let's count the trades out. So then let's start with the losses. It's 1 break even, but let's start with losses. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. And we can count the wins out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. So this already is a better win percentage. It's surprising that I took more trades trading with pro trend, I guess because I missed some trades in the actuals last week. So I guess those are accounted for. And we got 1 break even, so I won't really even count that. So it's like a 50% win percentage, which I thought would be a little higher, but still this is turning out to be more profitable just because it's 6 wins, 6 losses. So we'll say we would net 6% here based on this week if you're just risking 1%. and it's still 50% win percentage, which is not bad at all, especially when you're going for 2+ R each trade. So that would equal to a profitable week, and it makes it a lot more straightforward when you're only trading with the trend. It makes it just easier to know what you're looking for. So I'll probably just try to stick with that this week and see what happens. We did review some of these pre-trade checklists for the week and just see what we're going to go look at for the week and prepare for it. So I would say recommend checking out how to prepare for the actual week and getting more into those steps and details there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. I prepared for the week here, and hopefully we'll see what happens with the Nasdaq if it goes up or down and sweeps some more liquidity. See you guys next video. Like and subscribe.